Happy New Year! As we say goodbye, and for some good riddance, to 2022 and welcome 2023, we look forward to a new and better world for every living creature on this little patch of dirt we call Earth. Let's take a look back at what borders we crossed together in 2022. First, you guys know I love hiking, so I had to go to Costa Rica. El Camino de Costa Rica is a 280-kilometer trek across the continent, from the Caribbean all the way to the Pacific. It was a great adventure, and as I ended up in Quepos on the Pacific, we got to see the natural beauty of Parque Nacional Manuel Antonio. Really great to see the monkeys and the lizards and every other kind of creature they have there. But next, we headed north and crossed the border into Nicaragua. First on the order of cities to visit was the colonial city of Leon. A lot of history there. Then off to the little known paradise of the Corn Islands for a taste of the Caribbean life, which people don't often associate with Nicaragua, but I definitely recommend it. Next, we headed to Granada. It's a city with a colonial feel, while still giving us the opportunity to visit an actively erupting volcano and swim in a volcanic lake. Not at the same time, luckily. Then we headed off to Ometepe Island. It's an island I've always wanted to go to for, I don't know, at least 10 years. But it's an island made up of two dormant volcanoes within a freshwater lake, where there are rumored to be sharks, but I didn't see any of them. And we even got to hike to the top of one of the volcanoes. Afterwards, we headed off to the Pacific side of Nicaragua and went to Popoyo. It's an island village on the Pacific that's famous for surfing. However, it was here on the 24th of February that the plans for 2022 came to a screeching halt. Russia had invaded Ukraine, creating a humanitarian crisis. The free world chose to stand up against this unprovoked aggression and mobilized its resources to stand up in support of Ukraine. Within a few weeks, my travels brought me from a Nicaraguan beach to the Polish-Ukrainian border to volunteer as the site manager for an NGO providing humanitarian aid to some of the millions of Ukrainian refugees fleeing their war-torn country. After a month at the border, the refugee flow slowed significantly, but there was still a need within Ukraine, so after a quick trip to deliver humanitarian aid to Odessa in the south and bringing some donations for an orphanage near the Moldovan border, I went to Lviv in western Ukraine to bring donated medical supplies and provide support to those refugees still passing through the primary western Ukrainian hub. After about a month there, the refugee flow decreased even more through Lviv, as most of those who wanted to leave the country had already left. This provided an opportunity to go to Western Europe to search for, coordinate with the European governments, and also pick up some much needed medical supplies. And also a chance to quickly see a few of the major European cities such as Genoa, Italy, Madrid, Spain, and Prague, Czechia. After returning to Lviv, the refugee operations were even more noticeably downsized, so it was time to find another place to help. While I was recruited to provide humanitarian aid in far eastern Ukraine, when the recruiter asked if I had military experience and if I knew how to fire a weapon, I had a feeling something wasn't as advertised and wasn't actually a humanitarian aid role that I was searching for. Luckily, I was also recruited to run a 60-bed Ukrainian refugee shelter in Budapest, Hungary, so that's where I went. After a month in Budapest, I returned to the USA for 4 weeks to relax, visit family and friends, as well as take care of some other appointments. But since there was still a need for aid in Ukraine, in July, I found myself taking planes, trains, and automobiles to get back to Ukraine. Since this summer, I've been providing aid. Sorry you haven't seen as many photos or videos of specific things in a timely manner because, well, the country is engaged in war. Despite the Russians officially calling it a special military operation, and through an aggregate of seemingly innocuous information, we could inadvertently commit an OPSEC or operational security violation that could put Ukrainian and foreign aid personnel's lives in jeopardy. So, sorry, I haven't been able to post that much in a timely manner. So, as we prepare for 2023, here are a few reminders of the year in review for 2022. Slava Ukraini!